Could 2018 be the year Britain loses its cool? By autumn, the complex Brexit negotiations should be drawing to a close. Deal or no deal, what's decided will affect the future of Britain and the continent for decades to come.
It is the crunch point for the Brexit talks. This will be the point at which people start to know that some deal is going to be reached.
As Brexit begins to bite, not only is Britain's economic future in play, but the country could lose its street cred.
I really fear that 2018 will be the year of Uncool Britannia.
"20 years ago, Britain was riding on the crest of a wave of cool. Britpop ruled the airwaves, and the young, newly elected Prime Minister Tony Blair was pledging to build a new Britain.
Britain, head and heart, will be unbeatable.
That was Cool Britannia. Being cool is one of the things that we Italians always admire in the British. We thought we were too emotional. Brexit comes, and who overreacts? The British. Who turns out to be emotional? The British.
20 years on from Blair's iconic address, Theresa May took to the stage at her Conservative Party conference to deliver a less successful speech.
Public sector working together, we have bounced back. We've created record numbers of jobs.
As the ruling Conservative Party battles with Brexit, it's looking less cool than ever.
Brexit has harmed Britain's standing in Europe. In particular, the Conservative government is now seen in very negative terms in lots of ways.
And the poorly prepared Brexit negotiations aren't doing much to improve their image.
People like me who spend their life learning and sort of admiring a kind of cool way, British way of doing things. The way Brexit is managed is clumsy and amateurish.
As the deadline to reach a deal approaches in 2018, things are going to get much more fraught.
And all this could have a significant impact on how Britain is viewed by the rest of Europe.
So many of the cool, best ideas of the last 25 years and probably more comes from Britain. Architecture, music, literature, the arts. Why you want to throw it all away?
Britain's thriving creative industries currently generate $84 billion every year. That's over 4% of GDP.
The UK has had this kind of cool cachet. The big worry for these industries is that if the UK is seen as a more kind of inward-looking place, that their business will be disrupted.
There's a danger London could start losing out on the world's best creative talents.
London assumed this position as the number one destination for people to go and work from abroad. I think Brexit will threaten that.
London is the most international and exciting city in the world. Now, don't throw that away.
But the vote for Brexit in June 2016 has so far done a lot less economic damage than many expected. Consumer spending and business investment have held up.
The expectation was that the economy was going to fall into recession almost immediately, and that didn't happen. If you look at the unemployment figures and the GDP figures, it's hard to see any Brexit effect at all, really.
The employment rate is at a record high, and although wage growth has been poor, the jobs market has been running hot.
The expectation is that that will continue in 2018, but the big risk hanging over the whole country is that the talks break down.
Hardline Brexiteers suggest the country has nothing to fear if the Prime Minister walks away without a deal. Yet this would bring gale warnings for the economy.
You don't need to be a financial wizard to understand that people are worried, investors are worried, and they may well take their money away somehow from Britain.
So far, British businesses have been surprisingly resilient to this uncertainty. But if a no-deal Brexit looks increasingly likely, investment could suffer, and things would take a turn for the worse.
If a hard Brexit starts to look likely at some point in 2018, the economy will slow, unemployment probably will start to rise, sterling will start to fall, and that brings all sorts of unwelcome consequences such as high inflation. Financial services firms will start to move jobs out of the country.
If Britain leaves without a deal, it risks becoming not only a poorer country, but a far more isolated one.
Let's be honest, to be alone against the enemy in 1940 was heroic. To be alone among your friends in 2018 would be absurd.